What's going on, guys? We are back for another quick video, and this video is all about doing KDP low and no content niche research. If you're stuck or if you're just getting started with your KDP research process or just want to learn some tactics to actually help improve on your KDP research, and this is just the stuff that I've been doing as I've started to get more and more into this platform and learn this as I'm putting up more and more books and trying to get ranked for sales and just find profitable niches. So if you guys are new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to learn more about all the different strategies that I'm implementing with e-commerce, print on demand, and KDP. And check the description that's going to be under this video. That's where I'm going to put links to all the tools that I mentioned in this video and any other relevant links. So with that being said, let's go ahead. We're going to hop into this video. We're going to go over 4 tactics that I actually use. And really, before we get into those, 4 questions that I like to ask myself when I'm doing this research. So let's talk about the questions, right? This is the search criteria that I actually use when I'm looking at different niches that I'm exploring. And we really want to see these 4 things, right? Number 1, are people actually searching for these books or for our keyword or our niche on Amazon? That's the first one. If people aren't searching for it, that's a pretty good indicator that this is not going to be a good niche to actually get into. Because remember, in marketing, there's the common saying that it's a lot easier to find a market and then serve that market rather than creating a market. So if there's not a market on Amazon already and people aren't searching for it, then it's not going to be a good niche, and it's probably not a good use of your time when you're going to spend time and money actually creating books. So rather than doing that, we want to vet these niches out and instead find things that people are already searching for. So that's the first question we want to ask is, are people searching on Amazon for our keyword or for our niche? Number 2 is, are there similar books? So once we've found that niche that we're going into, let's say it's golf, are there similar books to what we're thinking about doing, or are there similar books in this niche? That's important because if we're seeing that other people are spending time also adding books to the niche, that means that there probably is a market there, and it helps validate the market or that niche or the keyword a little bit more for us. The third one is we obviously want to find out, is there demand? If people aren't actually buying the notebooks in this space, then it's not going to be worth it for us to go into, because our goal is obviously we want to convert people to sales, to buyers, and make some money with this platform. So we want to find those niches where there is a true demand. And finally, the fourth one is there overwhelming competition, right? We don't want to necessarily go into a niche where the competition is 100,000 other items and we have to try to compete against those. We want to try to find those niches where there's a lot less competition so that we can hopefully come in, create 5-10 really good quality books and serve that market a little bit better. So those are the 4 main questions that I ask. And one thing I want to note is that a lot of people recommend when you're doing this research process, it is a good idea to have a second window open in incognito mode so that your search results aren't biased by prior searches on Amazon. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to be doing that just because I have all of the Google Chrome extensions that I talk about installed on my normal browser and they don't show up on the incognito, but I did want to point that out for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into the 4 strategies. I'm going to hop over into the computer screen and just show you guys what I'm doing and kind of 4 strategies I use if I'm stuck or if I'm lost or don't know what niche to look at. Just to find some new stuff on Amazon. So the first one, as you guys can see here, is the Amazon Suggestion Expander, and then using BookBolt. Now I already found a little niche that I wanted to show you guys. So sailing notebook, and as you guys can see, we have about 4,000 results. And so again, I'm just going to kind of run through these questions, right? So immediately I'm looking, are people searching on Amazon? Well, this is a pretty common one, right? Sailing. If I type in sailing here, we see that sailing obviously is coming up. Sailing books, sailing alone around the world. So we see that there are search results. So that means that people are searching for this. We have sailing for beginners, sailing for kids. There's a lot of other variations. And then I'm looking at, are there similar books, right? And as you guys can see here, we do have, there are similar books. We have, this is a very basic book. This is something you could create very easily in Canva or something else, even if you have limited design skills. We see some other stuff here. This one's actually paperback. But you guys can see there's definitely similar books, so we've checked off that one as well. The third one, is there demand here? We're going to get into that. And is there overwhelming competition? You guys can see there's about 4,000 results, which actually is not too bad. Generally, right now, as a rule of thumb, I'm trying to find niches where there's definitely less than 10,000 search results. The fewer, the better. If we can find a niche where there's less than 1,000 search results, that's really good because we have a much higher chance of actually coming in. And anything less than that's amazing, right? If we can find something with 100 or 200 or less than 500, that's obviously great. But this first tactic that we want to talk about is the Amazon Suggestion Expander. And what that is as you guys will see up here, I'm in the books dropdown, so you can choose books here. And we're using this free Google Chrome extension, Amazon Suggestion Expander. It's really helpful for, you know, pretty much anything you're doing on Amazon. What this tool does is it expands on the search results that people are actually searching for. So if we just type in sailing, you guys will notice over here we have the common immediate suggestion results that Amazon would give us without this Chrome extension. So sailing made easy, sailing books, blah, blah, blah. What this tool does is it's going to pull in additional search results. So people that are searching with keywords before our main keyword, philosophy of sailing, right? Or other ones. Sometimes we also get keywords after we can do, and then we have the other ones, right? So sailing for beginners, sailing for kids, sailing for beginners, blah, blah, blah. Now what this does is this helps us find some of these extra niches that might be a little bit more untapped, or maybe some additional keywords or long tail keywords that are going to help us in our search process. So let's do another one really quick. Let me type in ninja. So for example, let's say I'm interested in ninja as a keyword. You know, maybe ninja is very competitive, but I can rank for a sub keyword or a sub niche, right? So we see ninja or Ninjago books. I don't even know what that is. Ninjago. I don't know what that is. But that might be something I'd look at, right? So I might go look at Amazon and then go look at Ninjago books. Let's actually take a look. I don't know. Maybe this is, yeah, so this looks like this is actually a branded thing, so I'm definitely going to stay away from that. Let's take a look at another example. So if I type in golf, it's taking a minute to load. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so we see here we have golf books. So these are the normal search results. Disc golf. So here is an example, right? If I'm interested in doing golf, maybe I wasn't thinking about this. Now I found another niche that I could be interested in. So disc golf, for example. Golf for dummies, golf for kids, beginners, seniors, blah, blah, blah. So this kind of starts to get my process going. Now what I'm going to do is, so now that I found something I'm interested in, disc golf, I'm going to go ahead and click this. We're going to search for that. Then what I'm going to do is come over to BookBolt. Now, BookBolt's a really easy tool to use. You know, this is something that I pay monthly for, and I'll put a link to it down below, but this is a very, very useful tool when you're doing your research process. And what I'm going to do is over here on the left, we have the products search, and we're going to type in disc golf. And this is going to take a little bit, about 30 seconds to populate. So I'm going to go back over to the search results, and hopefully these load. I've got so many tools and my browser always loads a little bit slow here. Come on. It's taking its sweet time. Let me see if I can do a new result. All right. Here we go. And again, I'm going to choose that drop down. So let's go to the books. And we will do that search again. All right, so now we are in books, disc golf, and you guys will see. So again, we're going to run through those questions here, right? Are people searching on Amazon? Yes, we've already validated that because we found that people are in fact using this as a search result. Number two, are there similar books? So if we scroll down, we'll see. So these ones are, you know, obviously paperback books. Let's see if we can find some notebooks here. Again, it's taking its sweet time. Sorry about this, guys. All right, so here's an example, right? We see this is a similar book. Pretty easy to do. This is a, you know, disc golf scorecard notebook, right? Disc golf player's manual. The complete Zen of disc golf. Looks like this might actually, yeah, this is actually a written out book. So we are going to get some book results in here. Disc golf scorecard. So we see that there are in fact some similar results here. So that has validated that one, right? Are there similar books? Number three, is there demand? Okay. Now what we're looking at with demand is we want to see if there is a BSR ranking for these products. So we see, for example, this one, which is a low content book, has a BSR of 387,000. That's not really amazing. Here, I'll just show you guys what that would be. Amazon BSR calculator. And 387,000. I'll put a link to this one as well. I do have the Jungle Scout Google Chrome extension, but it takes a little bit of time to load, so I'm not going to use that. So if we come in here one more time, what was it? 387,000. US, and then we're going to put the category in of books, and let's see. Okay, wow, so this one is showing that it's doing roughly 104 units per month. So again, that could be a really good indicator that this is a good niche to get into. And guys, remember, this is a really simple book. I mean, this is something you could easily create. Imagine if you have 5 or 10 of these, right, that are ranked high, that are doing super well. So yes, we are seeing that there's demand. This one is 578,000. Let's check a few more. See, this one's a little bit higher, 2.1 million, so that's definitely higher. 2.5 million. What I don't like is that most of the BSRs are pretty high. We do see 905,000. This one's a little bit lower, 458,000, 1.9 million. So you guys see there are BSRs on a lot of these products, so there is demand. We do want to obviously see that there's more products that have at least under 1 million BSR. Ideally, the lower the better. And finally, we want to see, is there overwhelming competition? So what I'm looking at is up here, how many search results are pulling up. We see about 1,000. It says over 1,000 results, which, you know, is not bad. It doesn't say over 10,000 or anything like that. So this is not a bad niche to actually look at. So now what I'm going to do, now that I kind of have that first idea, is come back over to BookBolt. Our search has actually queued up. And what I like to see is total results. It's pulled 174. We see the lowest and highest price, the average price, and then the cool thing is it does an average on the BSR, which is super useful. So we can see the average BSR is 1.1 million, which really isn't bad. Now this is also going to give us our some keywords that are used in a lot of these, and then we actually get a list of all of these different ones, right? So we have disc golf scorecards. So most of these we're seeing people are doing disc golf scorecards specifically. Now because we're seeing that, we know that that's kind of the thing that people are targeting on this. We can actually come back over, and let's go back. We're going to now use that longer keyword. Oops, let me do. And let's see what pulls up for this search result. So now that I've typed in this keyword, we see that this is really where the magic is, right? 145 results. So there's only 145 results for this keyword. That is a really good sign to me, because what that means is we can come in here, guys, and easily create 5, 10, 20 books in this space for this keyword. So you guys will see they're using that keyword right here, disc golf scorecard, right? They're ranking for that disc golf scorecard again. So we can come in here, create 10 or 20 books that are, you know, hopefully higher quality than what we're seeing here, or maybe have a different interior, and then we can actually take a piece of this market. So even if we, you know, have 10 books and they're only doing 10 sales a month, that's pretty damn good, right? So that's 100 sales, and if we're making $1.90, so just from that one niche, from that one little keyword that we've just found, and it's been about what, 5-10 minutes, we've already found something that we could come in and easily compete on and get sales. So that is the first step that I actually do. So again, we're using the Amazon suggestion expander, and then once we kind of use that to find niches and sub niches and things we wouldn't have thought of, we're going to take those keywords, go to BookBolt, and then actually get a readout on what these products are doing. And the other nice thing is that on each product, you guys will see it does actually show that sales estimate. So for example, this one's doing about 159 units a month. This one, so interesting, but this one's actually saying that this only does 2. So I'm not quite sure, because our Jungle Scout shows 154. So remember, these are all estimates, so you do have to kind of take that into account. But you guys get the idea here, is that we do get to see a good picture of how much demand there is for this niche. So that is the first strategy. The second strategy I use is using passion niches, and then again using BookBolt. Now, passion niches are those niches that people are very passionate about, right? They'll show a lot of buyer's intent. There's something that someone's very excited about, like maybe if they own a golden retriever dog, that's someone who really likes golden retriever dogs. These are things people get really into, and these are a really great way to actually find untapped areas, or just kind of get that research process going when it comes to doing KDP low no content books. So if you guys just go to Google, you can search list of passion niches, and this I think was the first result. I'll put a link to this specific one down below as well. You guys can see that we have a bunch of different passion niches here. So we have animals, and then within animals we have farm animals, so all of these horse, goat, donkey, etc. You know, we have household pets, passion animals. So again, we can keep going through these, and we're going to find stuff in here, right, that we want to look at. Ghost hunting. Okay, that's a really unique one. Let's just see if that has anything. So I'm going to find something that looks interesting. I'm going to put it in Book Bolt. And again, we can now also use this to come back and go back to our first strategy and then go back and use the Amazon Suggestion Expander as well. So the nice thing is that all of these strategies build on each other. And let's see what is showing up. So ghost hunting books, right? Equipment journal. So ghost hunting journal, we can see that's a result, right? Now let's go ahead and look at that one. Looks like Book Bolt is still loading here. Okay. All right, so Book Bolt has pulled 116 results, and again, we see the highest and lowest price. Average BSR is surprisingly a lot lower than I expected, 1.2 million. We have keywords, etc., and you guys can see here. So we have definitely some very, very basic books that I'm sure we could come in and create some better designs. Now, I will say the BSR that I'm seeing here, 463,000, 1.2 million. These are definitely higher than we want to see, and what that indicates to me is that there might not be as much demand here for me to really spend the time to go create notebooks, but the idea is that we're just trying to find some interesting ideas. So maybe ghost hunting is not a great one. We do see that there's only 370 results, so that's good. We definitely could come in here and compete. Ghost hunting journal, these guys have priced it really high, 1462, right? So here's that top result, 463,000. And again, we're just gonna ask these same 4 questions again here. Is there demand? Are people searching for this? Is there competition that we can come and beat? All of that good stuff. So, and again, now we can repeat this process over and over again. So we can do kayaking. Let's just do one more example, and then we'll move on to the next. Kayaking, and I will take that over here. So kayaking, we have kayaking books, kayaking in Florida. So now this is a very specific sub niche we could come and create maybe a cover for, right? We could have a cover now that would be something about kayaking in Florida, or you guys can see New England, California, etc. So we can kind of utilize this as well for our research, so we know that people are searching. So now we found these kind of other unique sub niches, and we could come create one for each state. Maybe you're in a different country, so you could create them for different countries as well. Let's just see what pulls up for this. All right, so Book Bolt has found 200 results. Again, we see the average BSR here is 1.5 million, so a little bit higher. And some of these, sometimes they'll pull, they're not relevant. Rowing is the bacon of sports. 900,000. Diver's logbook. So we have some that aren't directly related. Let's see. Kayak logbook, very basic design, 1.1 million. So it's doing a couple of units a month. You guys get the idea though. So we could keep going and find some that are selling at least a few units a month. And we see here on the results about 1,000 results for kayaking notebook. So that being said, we're going to move on to the next strategy. The next one that I like to do is using the type of book that we're going to do. So there's tons and tons of different types of books. I've just listed a few out here. We have notebook, journal, guest book, comic book, graph paper, dot grid, story paper, sheet music. There's so many different ideas that we could get into. But for example, habit tracker. So what we can do now is actually start by using the type of book instead of our main keyword. And let's do habit tracker. And I'm going to type that one in. Now we can also now take this and put it in here. And this is going to be a really good way to actually get a very broad list of tons of different niches if we just use the type of book. So we could repeat this with, journal, lines journal, college rule journal, etc. And see what people are doing in these different niches. So let's see, it's taking a second to load here. All right. So, for example, guys, check this one out. This one, very basic design, and we see 24,000 is the BSR. So let's take that just to give you guys an idea. If I put this in here. So this one product is doing about 327 units per month, which is wild. So imagine if we had 5 or 10 of these, right? So now that we kind of are seeing that habit tracker is a really good one, we can find sub niches or niches to then attach to habit tracker. So for example, we could do something like, you know, hiking habit tracker, or maybe we could find some other ones in here that'd be useful, chess habit tracker, whatever it may be. We could also associate different colors or environments with this. Let's see what else is pulling up. So you guys will see we have an average BSR 1.9 million, 200 results. And let's see. This one, for example, BSR is 3,700, and this one's doing 474 units per month. Okay, so this is awesome. Let's do one more example here. Let's type in, let's see, let's do guest journal. So I type in guest journal, and we will come back over here. So normally what I'm going to do is with these, we do see the competition is much higher for this keyword. We're going to definitely want to niche down. So guest journal, for example, you guys can see 50,000 results, which means there's definitely demand. People are searching for this stuff, but we're not going to be able to compete for guest journal right away. So what we want to do is now we're going to go through these search results and we're going to try to find something we can compete on. For example, this one, cabin guest journal, right? So that could be a keyword now we take and we actually go and do some additional research on. Visitor guest book. So these are just different ways of phrasing this. This is all going to help us with our research. Let's just see what pulled up on BookBolt. So we see average BSR 1.5 million, 200 results. I'm sure there's many more than that. Happy birthday guest book. So that's an interesting one. So now I could go and do research on happy birthday guest book. Officially a teenager. So this is a birthday guest book as well. Very basic guest book, baby shower guest book. So now that we're finding more and more of these results. So again, guys, you get the idea here. Now we can take those, do the same process as we've talked about. Now we can search for baby journal guest book, birthday guest book, etc. So that is the third strategy. And for the sake of this video, we're going to move on to the fourth strategy, which is just using Pinterest. Pinterest is always a great way to find some niches. So by the way, if you guys are on Pinterest, come follow me. I am on here and post some of my content as well. So if we type in, let's do disc golf. This is just going to help us get some more ideas for this niche, maybe find some funny phrases that we can use, etc. So we've typed in disc golf. Actually, let's type in disc golf notebook. All right. So here's one, for example, on Zazzle. I know I throw like a girl, try to keep up. So we could use that cover, something similar to that, and just create like a nice design. Just using some interesting quotes maybe. Let's check this one out. The tree giveth and the tree taketh, right? So this is another funny idea. So we could go through here. So once we've found a few niches that we like, we could go through Pinterest and just start plugging these in. And again, guys, this is really a good way to actually start finding those real designs that we can now take, give it to our designer, or take and actually create a book off of, or find some other iteration to do for the book. This is a very basic one, banging chains, blah, blah, blah. This one doesn't even have text. It's literally just, trees and some disc golf, right? So you guys get the idea here. So with that being said, we're going to cut this video so we don't keep it going too long, but a quick recap. The 4 questions we ask are people searching on Amazon? Are there similar books? Is there demand? And then is there overwhelming competition? And then the 4 strategies are: first, using Amazon Suggestion Expander with BookBolt. The second one is using that list of passion niches and then plugging those into BookBolt and also the Amazon Suggestion Expander. The third one is starting with the type of book, so habit tracker, lined journal, lined notebook, composition notebook, and then finding niches to niche down from there. And finally, then we're going to get into Pinterest and actually use Pinterest to find some additional search results as well. So that being said, I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments below if I missed anything or if there's any other strategies that you guys like to use. And with that being said, we will see you guys at the next video. Cheers.